If you're learning Git, it's probably because you need to use it right away. This beginner-friendly video will offer a short, practical guide to cloning a repository from GitHub and introduce you to the most important commands you'll need to start contributing. Git is widely used by people who code, but it's not a programming language. Rather, it's more like a set of commands which make up a standard version control system. These systems help developers keep an eye on what changes are made to their code over time. Why is it so important to keep track of changes in code? Well, a single code project will go through different versions over time as one developer improves it by adding new features and fixing bugs. But it also might have multiple versions simultaneously as developers work on different parts of a single project, possibly even working on the same file. Git keeps track of all of these versions and allows programmers to add their contributions without too many consequences if something goes wrong, like if there's a bug in the code or the file was accidentally deleted. It can also help give an easy overview of who changed what and when. If somebody added some bad code, Git allows you to revert those changes to a previous snapshot, as well as find out who made them, so you know exactly who to blame. Git allows collections of code and other project files known as repositories to be made publicly available on hosting sites like GitHub and GitLab, where they can be shared and even collectively edited. It's also possible to only work with Git locally without going through a hosting platform. But since most people learn Git for remote collaboration, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Now that we know what Git is, let's learn about how it works in practice. I'll be using IntelliJ IDEA, but it will look pretty much the same in any JetBrains IDE, like WebStorm, PyCharm, or any of the others. To begin, we're going to find a repository we'd like to contribute to. In my case, it's going to be the GitHub repository for this course by JetBrains Academy, which I think could be improved with some edits to its documentation. Repositories on GitHub are just previews of the code, so if we want to actually run and edit our files, we can clone, as in make a copy of, the repository on our computer. You can use Git from the command line, but the easiest way to get started is to use the built-in version control features of our IDE. The idea is to keep this copy in sync with the remote repository, so you're always working on the most recent version. Now that we have our own copy, we can make any changes we want without worrying about messing up the remote repository. When you make a change like fixing a bug or adding a feature, you can indicate this in Git with a commit. Each commit is accompanied with a message where you share what you changed. This helps you and any people you're working with know exactly what changed from one version to the next. Once you're confident that your repository is bug-free and tested, you're ready to push your changes so the rest of your collaborators can see your beautiful work. But wait, before you can push, it's possible that the repository was changed in the meantime. This means you need to pull the latest version of the repository before pushing your changes. Assuming no one worked on exactly the same lines of code as you, this usually goes smoothly, and you can push your changes right away. Depending on the level of security of the repository you're contributing to, you might need to ask for approval to push or follow a special process for contributing. But if there are no such rules, your push changes will be applied instantly and will be shown to all your fellow collaborators on their next pull request. That's it for this overview of the Git workflow, but there's a lot more to learn. For a comprehensive introduction, allow me to mention the Introduction to Git learning track, which we developed here at JetBrains Academy. It only takes a couple hours to complete and gets you started with practical projects you can choose between depending on your skill level and what seems fun. Good luck with your learning, and thanks for watching.